Thank you to everyone tuning back into another CSE listed issuer update. I'm Anil representing the Canadian Securities Exchange, and today I am talking to John Florek. John is the CEO of Emperor Metals, trades on the CSE under the symbol AUOZ. This company is focused on the Canadian Shield and working on projects in that region. John, thank you so much for your time today. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Anil? Glad to have
Good.
me on this interview. Appreciate giving an update about our company.
Absolutely. I'm quite excited. So I hope I had that brief description correct. The company's focus is in the Canadian Shield region. So why don't I get you to start off with a brief introduction to the company for our viewers that might not be familiar with what you and your team do?
Yeah, sure. So this company originally picked up some properties in 2021. It got listed in the Wawa Greenstone Belt, and subsequently it was more of a grassroots play. We wanted to find some more advanced stage project. So we found this opportunity in the Abitibi, which is in the Superior Province, just east of Timmins and north of Rouen. It's right along the Porcupine-Destor Fault. It's a tier 1 district with multiple gold deposits that have formed in the district. There's over 200 million ounces that has been produced in that district. So we have a property. It's our flagship property now. We acquired it at the end of 2022. So we're just embarking on our flagship property drilling program. So the drills are spinning right now out in the field, and we're going to prove up the expansion of this historically obscure high-grade gold deposit.
Yeah, John, why don't we talk a little bit about your background, how you got into this space and this project, along with some of your key team members that you've brought on board to move forward.
Yeah, okay, that sounds great. First of all, I'm a geologist. I have about 30 plus years experience in the industry. I would say my first 15 years is primarily focused in exploration. I worked for companies like BHP, Placer Dome, Barrick, Teck. In my subsequent 15 years, I was in production. So I wanted to really round off my career so I get exposure to both fields of exploration and production. I worked at Hemlo Gold Mines underground. Oh. And most recently, I was working up at Detour Gold Mine. Just finished the stint off up there. I spent 6 or 7 years up there as chief geologist. And so what we did is we really helped transform that deposit, the geology team, to make it a highly profitable gold mine. Subsequently, Kirkland Lake acquired us, and then Agnico Eagle saw the generational mine that it would become, and they acquired Kirkland Lake. So you know this story, it's been out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the team, we are a Metals Group company. I don't know if you're familiar with Metals Group, but it's our chairman is John Williamson. He's the chairman of the board of multiple companies on his team. And basically he's CEO and chairman of the board of Benchmark Metals, if you're familiar with that play. And so we're really happy to be part of his group of companies. It's a validation for the project and a testament to its validity, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to, have this first drilling campaign. There's been no drilling on this property for 12 plus years, and it's a high grade gold deposit. So this is really exciting times for us.
You know, John, I was going to ask you what makes you and your team stand out from some of your peers in the space. But I also want you to touch a little bit on, one of the things that makes you stand out right away to me is the use of artificial intelligence on these projects. So I want you to talk a little bit about how that came about and what type of technology you're actually using and what you're finding from using this new tech.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I was using this technology up at Detour Lake Mine, and when I left, I basically, to join this company, I basically decided that I would use similar technologies to evaluate deposits in areas using artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So my business partner, Alex Horsley, he identified a couple projects that Globex had in inventory. So I did a proper evaluation. We grabbed the whole data set from Globex And basically I processed it through artificial intelligence to build the first ever 3D model on this deposit. What is really intriguing about this process is that, to take the data set, you have to prepare it before you run it through the program, the artificial intelligence program. That took me and my team about 4 to 5 weeks. We processed it, and then we had a model that would take geologists probably 4 or 5, 6 years to develop with such intricacy. So that was really exciting. And when it came out of the computer and we saw the 3D model that it generated, it really illuminated the exploration potential of this deposit. We saw multiple areas of plunge lines to extend gold mineralization. We also saw it dipping, going along strike and down dip. There was that continuity as well. But most importantly was really identifying these plunge lines and how we can grow the deposit. And this isn't unique in the area, because we look at our neighbors along strike. They're building reserves following similar plunge lines. So that's what's really exciting about it. In addition, where we're located, there's about 20 million undeveloped ounces. So there's a broader vision here between Moneta Gold, First Mining, and Emperor. There's 20 million undeveloped ounces. In the middle of all that is the Holt Holloway mining complex owned by Agnico Eagle. So I really see this area as, because it's in a tier 1 district, that this will be developed next in this region.
Very cool stuff. And how did you guys come about using artificial intelligence to then better determine where you need to be drilling?
Yeah, like I said, I got the exposure working up at Detour. Yeah. And so I used MapTech technology. I was helping them develop the artificial intelligence process with Robert Slade with MapTech. And basically, it's called Domain MCF. And so we were using it up at Detour. And so I applied the same technology to evaluate this deposit to see if it had potential, because previously to this model, the deposit was somewhat obscure. There was no 3D model at all. So it was hard to really see what the potential was. And now we can see quite clearly.
It must be a little bit of a game changer for you and your team.
It is, yeah. So we created that initial mineralized model, and we just completed the first ever geological model. All the previous explorers previously didn't really look at the geology as much. They looked at the mineralized trends, but now we can see the geology in 3D as well, and that really helps illuminate some of the targets that we're going to be chasing.
Excellent. Now you did mention earlier that you have a drill program coming up on the Duquesne West Gold deposit. Is that correct?
Yes. So we are drilling as we speak. We announced a 10,000 meter drill program, and we just started drilling about a week and a half ago. So this is our, for phase 1 drilling program. It's about 10,000 meters. Traditionally, we would want to drill like 50 to 80,000 meters in the future. There's over 100,000 meters of drilling on this program, on this project, from historical workers. So in today's terms, that's like, if it's $300 a meter, that's like $30 million of money that's already been spent on the property. Yep. So that gives us a leg up. A lot right now, there is a historical mineral reserve that was published in 2011 of 727,000 ounces of 5.42 grams per ton with an average thickness of 5.7 meters. And it's really neat because that thickness, the average thickness, is important because in the center of this deposit, we're getting like thicknesses 15 meters of 15 grams per ton. So when I think of when we develop this type of a deposit, we're going to have a quick payback period, because you would sink a shaft and you would go towards the areas that are thick, and you can have a quick payback period. So in addition, I also view this deposit in the future as being a satellite to all the existing mills in the area. There's about half a dozen mills within 30 minutes of where our property is located. I see this as a nice high-grade satellite deposit that'll offer supplemental feed to any of the existing mines in the area. There's like half a dozen existing mills within 30 minutes of us.
Okay.
So This is, you're going to have a low capex because you don't have to build a mill. You don't have to build a tailings dam. So it'll be cheap to get going, and it's really high grade. So I know that Anico Eagle has announced they're looking for mill feed as well as other companies. So we're excited to build this deposit to feed additional mills in the area.
Excellent. Now, obviously with ongoing drilling, you're obviously going to have results out in the next little while. What are some of the other milestones you want our audience members and your shareholders to look out for from you and your team in the coming weeks and months?
Yeah, so like I said, some of the milestones, I'm looking at other projects in the area. I'm also trying to, basically we're drilling this deposit. We're going to have results that are coming up. Basically, we're trying to get the message out of what we have. It's a high-grade gold deposit in the Tier 1 district. We have a very low market capitalization. We have 48 million shares outstanding, 56 fully diluted. And right now, last week we were trading at 13 cents. So we're $7 million market cap. Like historically, if I look at analogs in the region, I see people with similar types of deposit or opportunities as us, and they're ranging from $50 to $200 million market cap. So we have a substantial opportunity here to increase our market cap just by, with this drilling program, getting this company into the collective consciousness of the investors to show them that, hey, we have a nice high-grade gold deposit. It has good thickness, it has really good grade, and people are looking for mill feed. So this is kind of the story, and we're working on building that narrative.
John, I really appreciate you taking the time to not only educate myself a little bit on the company, but our viewers as well. I look forward to hosting you on in the next little while once, you have more to talk about based off the current program and giving our viewers another update. Is there anything else you want our viewers and shareholders to know about your company and team? Well,
yeah, I guess number one, we're listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange under AUOZ. That's the most important. But yeah, it's a good company with a low market cap. I think the opportunity to have a significant, 3 times to 5 times increase in the short duration here is really very realistic. So that's what we're going to try to do with this drill program. And, I look forward to continuing to grow this deposit.
Well said, John. Now, I don't want to leave without directing our viewers somewhere. So where can our viewers go to read more about your company project and keep up with your latest news release and data that's coming out?
Yeah, www.emperormetals.com. That's where you would go. So we have a website, has our corporate presentation there, so you can actually see where we're drilling. You can see the long section of the deposit and any other information about our team, which I said it's a metals group company. They're known from taking single-digit million-dollar market cap companies to triple-digit. So it's a very good team, good management behind this group. And so we are in the process of trying to, repeat that success.
Excellent. Well, I wish you and your team nothing but success as you move forward in this journey. I always say your success as a company is our success as an organization. I encourage everybody watching to go to the Emperor Metals website and do your due diligence, find out more about this company. And if you're interested, please reach out directly to John via their contact information on the site. You've been listening to John Florek. He is the CEO of Emperor Metals, trades on the CSE under AUOZ. John, again, thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to talking to you again in the coming months.
Yeah, thank you, Anil, for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Goodbye.